Connecting. All right, we live.
Are we live? I'm very excited. You've done a live one here before, never?
No, this is my first one.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop asking questions. But even though it's actually connecting, now is a great time.
You
Now.
were the one that mentioned you're like, you can do lives on Substack now. And I'm like, what? So here we are.
And lives are your thing, girl. Lives are your thing.
I come alive.
They are your thing, honey. I see you got your people coming in.
Yes. Oh, this is going to be good.
Great. You're gonna take over and now we're just gonna get into it. I think you should talk to your people first. But there's a recording that comes up.
Oh, perfect. So then if you
Yeah.
watch the replay, you
And
just get it.
don't publish it right away. When it asks you, tell it to save till later. So you let it generate, you could edit, you could do
Oh,
all kinds of cute things before it goes
live. Wow. Thank you for
for
that.
the repost.
Yes. So I figured before we get started, it would be good to let the peoples know how we met.
Well, that's a good question because I don't remember.
So I met you when I was just going down the ATR rabbit hole because I was just like, okay, the woo woo stuff, cool, but it's just not. I'm not resonating. And then I went like all the way to the other side, like almost like the whole Teppy side, and I was like, this is too much. So it's like, what is? And so I just started learning more about ATRs, joined communities, and then I found you in a community, and then you started your own community,
Was
and
it on
it was the
Clubhouse?
farm.
Was it Clubhouse?
It was no, well, I think that's why I first heard of you on Clubhouse, and then I started following you online because I heard your song, "Don't Get Got," and I was like, "Who is this? I live for this," because I had definitely gotten got trying to find, you know,
We all have, honey.
exactly. So I was like, "Oh, I really resonate with her," and I started following you. Then you started on, was it Gemini? Is that the app? I can't even remember the name
Oh,
of
it
it.
was called Geneva, and I
Geneva.
discovered that app while I was on Clubhouse. I don't know about you, but Clubhouse opened the metaverse to me, and I say metaverse that doesn't belong to, uh, Fuckerberg.
Right.
That is a word that existed before he existed, and
Right.
really, I literally got exposed to the metaverse. We're gonna talk about plant medicine. I got exposed to that. I got exposed to everything, everything, and we had an ATR club on.
Yes, on
Yeah,
Clubhouse, yeah. And then you started the farm on Geneva, and that really helped me get to know you more, get to know your work more, met other incredible women in your community, and we've been rocking ever since. And if you, we should probably tell the folks what the farm is because they're gonna think it's a real farm.
I know they are gonna think it's a real farm, and it was the purpose initially was for it to be an actual farm. Part of going into Clubhouse and thinking the world was coming to an end and we needed to start homesteading and all those things. I was like, I'm going to go back down to Charleston at some point and get a farm, get some land and have people come. And then this idea of retreat space started feeling a little capitalistic to me.
Mm, mm.
And I really started feeling that more and more listening to the Nat Ministry.
Oh yes. Mm, mm,
And
mm.
Trisha was talking about, why do we need to spend all this money and da 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 da. So I was like, I always knew I wanted to either build a nonprofit or a church. And because I knew you could do like cannabis churches and stuff like that. And I was like, let's just do a regular nonprofit. Okay. Bad enough if you going to South Carolina trying to do this. It's still not off the list. But I said there's a way to do this through a nonprofit so women won't have to pay for anything.
Yeah, I love that
So
song.
while we were working on the details, I started the nonprofit. And then when I opened up Geneva to Black women and indigenous women and femmes who were interested in not necessarily ATR, but healing, just this general term of healing. The money wasn't coming in because you know who was becoming president again, so all the grant money dried up and da, 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 da. But what we ended up creating, um through sort of the lens of the farm, but we just started calling ourselves the farm. And it's a private community by referral only, it's free. And we have been almost that was in November 2023 that we really started being on the farm. So it's been over 2 years now of an online community. No one pays any money to be in there. I don't pay to be in there. I I don't know what's going on. They got bought by
Another app or something or some company.
BFF,
Yeah.
a dating app, Bumble. They got bought by
Hmm.
Bumble, and to be honest, I don't think they know we're there.
I love that because the farm got me through my time in Virginia. The farm got me through my time on the farm.
The farm got you, and I want to talk about that again. Now, I was searching because I didn't really. I recorded a lot of the live interviews I
Hmm.
did, but I don't recall finding a copy of our talk. So, and plus I have CRS, can't remember shit. So, you know, you being the Aries, I see my people coming up in here,
Yes.
Soy and
Hello,
Sashetta,
everyone.
and I saw Lonnie J up in here. But oh, happy birthday, Soy. Today's her birthday, Soy
Happy
Leche.
birthday, Soy. Come.
And she was actually in Cuba right before you got there.
Wow.
We just,
Rico wants to join
oh,
in.
woo,
He was napping, minding his business, and all of a sudden he starts and he's like, so
animals.
here he
Animals
is.
love me. They
Every
love me.
live.
They
He
love
did this
me.
the last time we were on live too.
Aw, he knows he gets that energy.
Hmm.
Look how cute he is. He's got he's got the look of a
Yeah.
dog that belongs on the internet.
Hmm.
So, the farm interviewing you, I forgot a lot. So, my point of interviewing you then was to be like nosy. And I actually was a fan of yours. And from what video?
Yeah, there's a video that I did. I was yelling at the internet. I was like, what was it? I know exactly what video it was when
Girl.
you brought it up. It was like, I think I was saying in the video, you're the reason that your business is not doing well because your business is a mirror for your healing work and your business is mirroring to you the work that you still need to do. So you're the reason that your business is not doing well. And you know what's so funny about that video? Most people loved it. They're like, yes, yell at me. I needed to
Oh
hear this.
yeah.
There was one person that got triggered and reposted the video, and I never ever deal with internet trolls, but reposted the video, and it was like, what did she say? She was like, oh, and this is exactly why we don't need people on the internet trying to tell us blah blah. Then I go on her page and just scroll through her posts. Oh, this makes sense why you were triggered by this video because you got bamboozled by other entrepreneurs and you went through that experience. So you're just projecting your pain and hurt onto me, calling out you're the reason why your business is not successful because
Yeah.
you done tripped yourself up in
Yeah.
this. So
Yes.
goodbye, Miss Ma'am. Message
Goodbye.
received. The
Goodbye.
message did what it needed to do.
The thing is, just let it go. There's so many things that I have scrolled through in my life that I don't even bother to leave something in the comments unless it's humorous. Like my whole MO is to leave humorous comments and just trying to get like something that someone said and I repeat it because it's so funny. The people that are triggered by certain posts, I don't understand the reaction. I don't understand the response or entering things. So, number one, doing that in itself is problematic, Leave the
Mhm.
person alone. But Ada, it was really one of the best things I had ever seen because do you remember what year you did that?
That was like in 2022.
So during 2022, that inspired me to do my first mentorship program in 2023.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
opened up my mentorship program because of that video.
I didn't
Because
know that.
also because of your whole business model. You know,
Yeah.
come from the school. I come from the school of there's enough to share. You know, this competition thing, it does, it's not real. It's
Hmm.
not real. Um and when I saw that, why I loved it so much is because I was always wondering how to combine spirituality and business into a conversation or even a workshop or teaching. And I have come from a business background, right? So I'm like, I literally come from corporate America and I have a business background. I've had quite a few businesses unsuccessfully. But what about when you are trying? I had already been a spiritualist 4 years by that time
Hmm.
and trying to make money. And you were the first person I ever saw talking about that.
Yes, and I remember you would always pop into my lives when I was talking a lot about decolonizing entrepreneurship because through my own journey and being like in the system with the brand that I created that got into mass retail and now you're part of this big machine is like I was so disillusioned when I got to that level of success in my career because you realize that all the work that you think you're doing with your business to like not be what the system is. It's like you're in the system and with unconsciously and subconsciously you're doing the same thing. So
Yes.
it's like, oh, I thought that with my business I could change entrepreneurship, and what I realized is that I actually had to change myself.
Your
And the
mind.
only reason that the only way that the way that we do business is going to change is when we change the entrepreneurs, and we have to start there. And how do you do that? You got to get to the root and you got to do the healing work, because entrepreneurship is so vital to our communities. Our ancestors been about that life, but they were just doing it in a way that was actually benefiting the community and everyone. It was reciprocal. It wasn't extractive. And so it's like you start digging, you start learning that accounting started because of enslavement, that
Mhm.
all these capitalism started because of
Tipping.
enslavement,
Tipping.
tipping. And it's like, oh, everything is rooted in these systems. And then we perpetuate the same systems through our businesses. Unknown.
Following the norm. And this is why I know I could talk woo woo with you, because if this was a regular LinkedIn talk, we wouldn't be saying this.
Right.
What really is going on, it's the spell of
Mm,
capitalism. It is the curse that they put in place. I mean literal curse, okay?
yes.
Y'all think I'm talking about uh and this from a different standpoint. I'm not. Figuratively, I'm not. It's a curse that was placed to perpetuate where we are. And it is up
Mhm.
to us
Right.
to break the spell. And you were breaking spells. Your talk made me create a mentorship program. And those mentees are still with me.
Oh man, that makes me so happy. I didn't know that. And this is like you come on here and you give with like so much love and intention, and you never know who's watching, and you never know who's going to receive, and you never know how they're going to take that information and apply it and impact their communities. And it's like that's the magic of this and showing
Yes.
up.
And if we weren't sitting here, I wouldn't have been reminded of that, because the mentees and the women from the farm, they will literally, I'll sit there and I'll tell them, I don't know why I started a mentorship program. I don't I don't remember. And now you made me remember. It was your talk, that talk that I loved so much, where you got fiery. And I was like, she is the most authentic person on this app. You know, you could feel that authenticity through the screen.
That double fire energy be coming through.
Double the rising to
No,
the
the
moon.
rising is what be saving me. I'm a Libra rising, that air, but it's double fire air. So what happens when fire gets more air? Exactly. I'm a Leo moon and an Aries sun.
Oh wow, Leo Moon. I am surrounded by, I'll give Leo Moons too. Leo Moons and Leo Risings. Surrounded. Y'all all look at the hair.
Right.
Always, always. Leo Moon.
Me and my
Oh, we were talking about Leo Moon last night in the reading room.
look at that. Look at that. What was coming up? Because me and my girlfriend, I think she's a triple Leo, we always talk about that Leos need a rebranding campaign because everybody
Well,
just thinks that Leos are just vain and superficial and they want to be this. And that is true. I think the shadow side of Leo shows up in that way. But I have come to learn through my own Leo moon and other Leos in my life that the real magic of Leos when they're in their like evolved self is the courage. It's the courage to show up fully in your heart. That is the magic of Leos. It's like it's that lion courage that really comes from I'm gonna do it anyways, and it's
anyway,
rooted in love.
yes, and that matches well with the Aries because Aries just want to do, and Leos are just like, come on, let's do it. Now the thing about it is, we had a Leo Moon sister in the getting a reading last night, and one of my mentees, Sashetta here, has written a book alongside two of my other mentees called Moonchild. So I said to Sashetta, I said, Sashetta, give me the one sentence for Leo Moon. And I don't know if she's primed to text me.
Yeah, she wrote in here,
But
lion-hearted.
I want her to write what she wrote last night because this in their book they frame, you know, what the moon signs mean and what you are looking for, seeking. She's gonna type it. She's busy laughing. There is a delay on here, like I
Okay.
there is a delay, but it's basically the book is amazing. The book gets you to understand your mother. Leo moons need to be loved and adored. Period.
That is so yes. 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 As a Leo moon, yes. And
And
not in like a vain way or like a but just like it for me it is so important to feel seen, and I feel like because that's something that I deeply value, I feel like it's also one of my gifts. You know, I meet people and right away they immediately open up to me, they tell me all their business, all their secrets, all their, and it's like, oh, I have a special ability to make people feel seen. And
yeah,
also shout out to my Chiron and Cancer for that too, right? It's like that combination. Yeah.
and that part with the Chiron and Cancer, I didn't know we were bringing up Chiron. Speaking of
Well,
rebrand,
why wouldn't be the Chironista? We gotta
speaking
talk.
of rebranding, child, I was up all last night rebranding myself, rebranding myself. Oh, you see, this is where we could talk. See, that's why I love talking about with you. We could talk about business in 1 minute. We could talk about something another. We could go down rabbit holes galore. And I really thought that it was timely. Friday the 13th. I was just like, okay. I was gonna wait till after the micro braids was over. And sometimes, as a Gemini, because Mercury is my man, you know, it's not my chart ruler, but he my man. It really, the retrograde, knock on wood, it could be problematic, but right now I've been through a serious Pisces transit. I've been through a serious Pisces transit. So this retrograde in Mercury and Pisces is almost like giving me time to go back and forth. And I think rebranding is okay
Hmm.
during a time of reflection because I spent the last 3 years really not embracing the hungry medium anymore. You know, that's why I was leaning in. Now, do I still love Chiron? Of course. Chiron, the concept of Chiron and what it means saved my life, but at the same time, the hungry medium was almost like, we could talk about family constellations another time.
Oh my god.
We got so much to talk about. I want to hear about your trip to Cuba and all that stuff, but I wanted to just say that with that Chiron in Cancer, it, you know, it's what I, if people don't know anything about Chiron, the way that if they don't have a book, they can't figure out where their wound, you know, it's the wounded healer. um I always say, look at Cancer. You know what that represents, right? The mother, the moon, home, matrilineal line. Now you add on to that the house that it's in,
The
right?
10th, the 10th.
So that's you in your public image, career, plant mama, all the things, nurturing women, do everything. But the thing is, with Chiron there, it's where you have the insecurity, the thing you didn't have as a child, thing that wasn't nurtured in you. So you take all the great things about the sign, the high vibrating, and then you put a wound there. So the thing is, as I'm seeing you, that means you are working through your Chiron wound by expressing the gift. And the gift is when you work on it and others see it as a reflection. That makes sense?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like that has been my career online since 2009. It's been 16 years.
And based on that story you told us, but where you're headed now,
Oh, I'm
I
ready.
don't even say but I want to say end where you're headed now, because part of the journey is to experience tough and rough things.
Hmm. Absolutely. It makes the sweet stuff even sweeter. And the littlest things, the biggest things. I don't have to look far to find joy in my life day to day.
Like you used to. Always add that so
Like I,
people know
yeah.
where you came from, like I used to.
Hmm.
Because if you recognize it, the thing is to babies don't know a stove is hot until they touch it. You could say, don't touch that. They will never know what hot is if they don't get burned. So you always, for me, giving honor to the wound. And I always want to stress that, I talk about wounds all the time. I mean, that's my thing. But I'm not talking about wounds so that we could stay here and trauma bond all day over these wounds we have. Oh, you have a wound. Oh, but my wound is way bigger than yours.
Right.
My wound is in the 10th house. And
Right.
no, the point is to identify. The thing that is a little frustrating lately is watching all these self-help, telling people what to do this, do that, you should do this. What if the person literally can't do it? Like they cannot do it. How many? So you talk about an Aries, Chiron and Aries is the thing, my first book. But the thing is, if I look at you, you are doing shit. Doing it. Doing it. She just do it, y'all. She just fucking do it. Y'all know Ada? She just do it. Now take that and put somebody with a wound in
Right.
Chiron
And
wound Aries. So the,
they
the joke
can't.
is the joke is uh Aries being like the Nike symbol, just do it. Chiron and Aries is just don't do it.
Right.
Just
Just sit
don't
down.
do it.
Just sit down. Yeah, you
We're not
literally can't.
we're not doing it. They can't. So when you are advising people, you reading people, whatever you doing, you're a coach, and you're telling somebody you just need to get on that treadmill every morning. You just need to tell your mama this. So you need to, that person is looking at you like you got five heads. They cannot move. They are cemented. Chiron and Aries people are cemented.
Mm.
People with other wounds are cemented. They just can't move because they don't know where the wound is. And then the discovery of it, and then you come out, just come out. We're not here to bond over wounds.
Right. And stay in that lower vibration of just the victimness. It's like You know, I was thinking, Kat, I'm like, oh, I feel like we need to go down the rabbit hole that was the main story that inspired us to even do this live when I reached out to
Cuba?
you no, my DR trip. Remember with my dad? That was the, remember I sent you a voice note. I said, Kat, I went to the cemetery. Remember this story? And you're like, we need to talk about this.
Was it flooding or something?
No, remember
The
the
tree? The
rosary?
tree.
The rosary. And my mom was like, you better take that back. And then I was like, did I do something bad?
Please remind me. This is perfect. I'm a perfect interviewer because I can't remember shit. So now we get to start from scratch. You just
Yes.
tell me what happened, and then I'll start to remember.
Okay, so in at the end of November, I went to the Dominican Republic. My partner's cousin was getting married, so we go for the
This
wedding. And
November or the
this
other?
past November, this one that just passed, and I'm like, there's so many backstories here. I'm like, how far back should I go, or should I just bring it back to this? Because it's so funny. There's a
We'll do
thread
more
with
parts.
you.
We'll do more parts.
Yeah,
Your life is exciting. You got a lot of parts.
there's a thread with you even further back than the story that I'm sharing, which is so crazy. So I'll start with this. My father passed away when I was 5 years old. So I never got to meet him. The only memory I have of him is of his funeral. I remember I had to get on a little step stool to peek over his casket. And I remember looking at him. And that's the only memory I have of him because he passed away when I was so young.
In New York.
In New York, yes. And then they transported him back to Dominican Republic. So he's buried in Dominican Republic. So a few years ago, I wanted to, connect more to him. I did an ancestor elevation for him. I could talk about that because that's a whole nother separate story. I remember on his birthday, like 2 years ago, you were doing a reading room, and I asked you, and my name came up, and you did a reading, and he came up in the reading, and it was his birthday that day. So that's like, again, the connection, the thread of like, and it was the message was really beautiful. I felt his energy around me, and it was just so nice to receive that message on his birthday.
What's his name?
His name was Abel, Abel, Abel
The whole,
Antonio Rojas.
the whole name.
Abel Antonio Rojas.
Light, peace, and evolution to his spirit. No,
Yes.
go ahead.
So, boom. We go to Dominican Republic for this wedding. It's my partner's cousin's birthday, and I'm like, oh, it just so happens that my sister from my dad's side, because of course he's a Dominican man. I got like 13 siblings from his side, and my older sister.
Picture. I want to see his picture now.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I gotta pull up a picture. Maybe I'll post it in the chat after. So my sister calls me from my dad's side saying that the grave where he's buried at in Dominican Republic, there's a tree that is uprooting his grave. Because he's not buried underground. It's like in the little columns, so it's uprooting his grave, and that they were going to transfer him from the old cemetery that he's buried in to a newer cemetery in our town. And that, like she's calling all the siblings to let them know we could pitch in if we wanted to be there. And I'm like, well, I'm actually supposed to go for this wedding. So can it be timed so that when I'm there, because I feel like I want to be there. I need to be there. I want to pay my respects. I'm conscious now of everything. I was 5 years old, So my trip to the Dominican Republic was not only for this wedding, but also for my dad's thing. And it's crazy because for the last 3 years, I've been trying to make it to the Dominican Republic. My plan was to go study herbalism there. And it didn't work out for me. I ended up staying in Virginia and doing my herbalism training there in the mountain in the middle of a farm. So boom, we go to the wedding. We go to the town where my family's from. And, I see his grave. We see the tree that's uprooting it. And I thought that was so symbolic because I've been doing so much root chakra work. So much root chakra work with my maternal and paternal lineage. So the fact that this tree was uprooting his grave was so symbolic to me because I could feel the uprooting of my lineage that is happening because of the work that I've been doing. And sometimes the healing work is so deep, it's so layered, it's so much. And oftentimes, because it's so slow, you start to question, is this working? Does this mean anything? Am I ever going to see like signs of the lineage work that I did in my lifetime, or are my descendants going to benefit from that, and I'm never going to actually get to experience what the healing that I've done on behalf of my lineage looks like. And so that was like weighing heavy with me. But then this uprooting of this tree is happening, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting confirmation. My lineage is getting uprooted in a way, you know? So we go to the grave, and my other sister from my dad's side, you know, she didn't go to the cemetery with us because she has, you know, she has some disabilities, but she was like, all I want is there's a rosary that he was buried with.
Oh.
And if you guys, when you go take the casket out, can you bring it to me? That's all I want. And we're like, okay, no problem. So can y'all even imagine what a cemetery in Dominican Republic in a small town like? I have to laugh about it because it was comical, and I'm always gonna find the funny in something. I'm like, where are the cameras? Because this is hilarious. So we go to his grave, and you know, he's like buried in like a cement thing, and the gravekeeper, I want to interview him on a podcast. This man was fascinating. He was maybe like in his late 30s. His father was the groundskeeper of that cemetery before him. So this is generational. So can you imagine the stories and the things that that man has seen?
Yes.
You
And how
know?
old is he about?
Huh?
How old is he about?
He was probably like in his late 30s, early 40s. And he, again, his dad did that his whole life. His dad was buried in that cemetery as well. So this is generational for him. And I asked him, are you ever scared? He's like, oh, I take naps here. Like, this is nothing to me. Like, you know, and he's like, and the things that I've seen here, and he's like, it's always so funny. All the wealthy people, when they come to get buried, there's never anyone here. But the poor people, they always have the biggest crowds coming to bury them. And I thought that that was so fascinating. I was like, I wish I could just interview this man because I want to ask him so many stories. And him and my brother from my dad's side are really cool. So he's like a family friend, you know. He's like, don't worry, I'm going to take care of you guys. So we go, and you know, we get everything to transport this casket. And when we go, you know, he's like, okay, let's schedule everything for Monday. We go on Monday, and, you know, the Day of the Dead, which is so funny, right? Ancestor Day on Mondays. You already know.
Girl.
So we go, and he's like, unfortunately, the casket it was like a steel casket. And he's like, it deteriorated over time. It's been there for 30 years. So you're not going to be able to take him in the casket. You're going to have to take him out of the casket to transport him to the cemetery. And we're like, well, we weren't prepared for that. So like, you know, like we could have gotten like a custom little wooden box made to transfer his remains. Like we were not prepared. And this was the only day and time that we could do it because I was leaving the next day. So he's like, well, just go down to the little dollar store and get a plastic bin. That's what everybody else does. That's what everybody. Not just had to laugh because I was like, again, we're in Dominican Republic. This is.
I'll be right back. I'm going to the store, go get a little duffel bag. I'll be right back.
So we go, Rico. I know. You're hype. You can feel the energy. Thank you. So we go to the damn little dollar store. We come back with a plastic bin. I'm like, not us putting my dad's remain in a plastic bin. Like this is so crazy.
Look, I got Scorpio placement, so I'll ask questions like, how big was the bin?
Oh,
What's like this? No.
And so he pulls out the casket, right? He digs like a hole on the bottom because it was already falling apart. This man popped his head in the casket like he's popping a weasel, just popped in there and starts pulling out the remains. Again, this is his day to day. This is what he's used to. This is his whole life. He since a child. This is nothing to him. And I'm just like, this is so crazy.
Were you guys crying? What were y'all doing?
No, we were more like at first I didn't want to it was my brother from my dad's side and his mother was there and me. And at first like I didn't want to see the remains. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay over here. And he's like, man, come on, like what are you scared of? Like what are these bones gonna do to you? It's just bones.
Stand over here.
Right. And I'm like, okay, well, like let me just get a little closer. And then, you know, but it was still like a distance away. So he's popping in the casket and he's pulling out the remains. And he's like, oh man, your dad was really tall. Look at his leg bones. And my dad is like 6'5". I'm like 5'10".
Like, she's tall, y'all. tall, by the way.
I know
Are tall.
people are always shocked when they meet me in person, like, I didn't realize you were so tall.
Yeah.
So literally, that not them folding daddy up in the back, absolutely. So he's just pulling out the remains. His foot was still in the sock that he was buried in, just pulling out. And I'm like, this is comical at this point. Like, pulling out the arm, pulling out the this. So again, he's looking for this rosary, and we're like, it should be in there. He was buried with it. So he finds a rosary, and we're like, okay, let's put this in a bag. This needs to be cleansed, whatever. But then what happens? There's another rosary in there. And I was like, oh my God, we didn't expect there to be a second one. And there's something in me just felt like that one is for me. Like, that is my rosary. I need to take that. So I was like, can I have the other one? And everybody was like, of course, yes, like, no problem. So, we go, we put him in the little box, a little plastic box. We take him to the new cemetery. They put him in the new thing. And I just felt like, because it ended up just being me and my other sibling. And I was like, man, I did my part. Like, I did what I had to do. I feel like completed. Like, I feel like I honored my father, consciously, lovingly. Like, I was just like so grateful for that experience and to be able to be with him. And the next day I leave to come back to New York, and I'm sending a WhatsApp message to my mom, like, Ma, this is what happened at the cemetery, blah, blah, blah. This is what happened with the rosary. I got an extra one. And my mom sends me a WhatsApp message, like, freaking out. She's like, girl, in Spanish, girl, what? You took the rosary? You need to take that back. Don't you know that you cannot take things from the cemetery? Are you crazy? Why would you do that? She's like, when your great grandmother died, I think she said she took her Rico. I get it. Rico be getting hype. He's a Sagittarius, so he sends the energy goes up and he
And
gets
he's
crazy.
adding his comments to remind you of things.
Right. So she was like, when your great grandmother died, I think she said she took her rosary, and she's like, and supposedly there's a superstition that when you take something from the dead in the cemetery, that then somebody else dies, right? So she's like, I took her rosary, and then like a few days later, like another family member of ours died, and she's like, I took that joint back. I took it back. So she's like, I can't believe you took that. And I'm like, well, Miss Ma'am, like, I am on the way back to New York. Like, there is no way for me to take this back. It's mine now. And I cleanse it. We cleanse it with Clorox because I don't know.
Right.
I'm not trying to get sick. I'm not trying to get. So we cleanse it with Clorox. Then we blessed it with some holy water. Did the whole shebang. It's
Yeah.
sitting on my altar now. But
Yeah.
I'm like, her voice note really, like, I could feel the fear. And immediately, obviously, I felt her fear, picked up on it. And I'm like, damn, did I do something wrong? And I'm like, who can I ask about this? I don't know anyone in my life that I could reach out to be like, what do you think about this? What do you think I should do? And I said, ooh, you popped up immediately. It was like, I have cats. So I remember sending you a voice note and telling you the whole story. And you're like, wait a minute, this is so fascinating. Wow. Like, you were just so like, she's like,
Like
this is
the theater of it all. I'm
right.
like, this is a fascinating story.
Right. And it's like, this is my Leo moon coming out. I'm like so expressive in my emotions. And so you were like, well, first of all, did you check in with yourself? How did you feel when you got it? And then compare that to how you felt when your mom sent you that message. And I was like, no, I felt at peace. I didn't feel weird. I just felt at peace. And I felt that belonged to me. Because why would there be two? We only went in there asking for one. And I felt like that belonged to me. And what's crazy is that my sister felt bad, like, asking for it. So what she did, she like pulled me aside before we went. She was like, can you tell my mom that you want it and then give it to me? Because, like, I guess she felt bad. Like, and I'm like, no, like, if you want it, just say you want it. Like, why do we have to lie and say that I want it for me when you want it for you? Like, if
The
you want
other,
it, yeah,
yeah.
the only one we thought that was there. So I was like, no, like, if you want it, that's for you. Like, we don't have to go sneaking around saying that it's for me. I'm not doing that. Like, we're too grown, like. So,
Listen,
like, what are the odds that there ended up being another one? So I was
yeah.
like, I just felt at peace with this. But with my mom, it's like I felt her fear, and it
Yeah.
didn't belong to me, and it wasn't mine. So when you reminded me of that, I'm like, no, like, I did the right thing. This is. And then you were like, this is such a story, and we should talk about this publicly. But because I'm sure people just have so many questions. People doing ancestor work, people, and not knowing, like, what's right, what's wrong. And I was like, oh, okay. maybe it's time for me to share this story in a public way. And I was gonna write about it on Substack eventually because I had been writing about
Never
just
write about pulling them body parts out.
well, I wasn't gonna write about that part,
You weren't? That's
No, it's like, how do I even, this is something for a live, this is something for a podcast. This is not something to be written in that way. At least for me, if I'm like, this is a throat chakra
that's
stuff,
a throw thing.
But you were really like, well, this is the conversation that we should have whenever you're ready, because I think more people need to hear about this. And the minute that you said it, I'm like, oh, I just know my guys have been on me, like, you need to get back on, like, either doing lives or start your podcast again. Like, your throat chakra needs to be, and I'm like, oh, I kind of been avoiding it because, like I shared earlier, I've been online since 2009, creating
Yeah.
content, sharing my journey, what I've learned, my highs, all the things. And, the time that I was in Virginia, becoming an herbalist, being in the pharma, I stepped away from social media. Like, I was like, all the energy that I've been giving to my community, I need to give to myself in this season. Because I was going through my own death and rebirth. I had just finished my Saturn return, which dragged me to the pits of the
Yes.
pits of the pits and back. And I thought I was done. And just when I thought I was done, it was like, oh no, baby, this
What are
you're
you,
just
Saturn and Pisces? Or
no, Saturn in Capricorn,
oh, Capricorn.
in the fourth house, the house of,
I was going to talk about all of this. I was going to talk about this because you got cancer in the 10th. And that's, I'm going to assume, even though I could be assuming wrong, your MC is also there. Is your MC also there? And so here's my little I'm not an astrologist. I'm an astrology enthusiast.
and you're
But while you were talking, I wanted to ask you a few questions. Are you the youngest of your
no, I'm the middle child.
father's children?
Well, my mom and my dad had 3 kids together, so I'm the youngest of the 3 that he had with my mom. But then my mom had 3 other siblings that I grew up with, so it's 6 of us.
Well,
But
he had more kids after you?
yeah, he had like 13 other kids with different women.
After you?
Yes, my brother in Democratic Republic, who I'm like really close to, him and I are like 12 months apart. Yeah, my father was
No.
out. Oh, and to add this too, my father was an incredible entrepreneur. He sold cattle in the town that he was from. Would walk barefoot to sell his cows to whoever he needed to, and somehow, some way, that man made it to New York. Was out here hustling in these streets, but at least was smart about his money and was sending his money back to the Democratic Republic, buying businesses.
Wow.
He had the first Rico. Relax. He had the first Acura in the town that we're from that had like a electric radio, like a radio that was, and everybody was like, they never seen anything like that.
Box? Did it have a Benzie box where you put the radio and you take it out? Or?
I think so, yeah. And everybody in the town was like, they never seen anything like that before, because this is a small little beach town on the north part of Democratic Republic. And while I was there, I was there during the holidays, so they have like, every year around the holidays, the government does like a holiday party basically in every town in Democratic Republic. And so we go to the holiday party and people are like stopping to ask me questions because I look a lot like my mom, and they're like, oh my God, are you Amarili's daughter? You look just like her. And we knew your dad. And then they started telling me stories about my father. And so again, to like, it just like, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Yeah, in this trip, and they were like, there was a time that there was no sugar in the island. There was like no sugar. We couldn't get any sugar. And your dad bought a sack of sugar, brought it to the town, and gave everybody sugar. And every time that he would come back from New York, he would give money to kids. He was taking care of so many people. And this guy was like, this gold ring that I have, your father gave me this ring. He was wearing it, So it's like, I had heard so many stories about my dad. And when my dad died, he left us farm, he left us land. My dad left us enough that I shouldn't have lived the life that I ended up living. And unfortunately, I never got to see that money or touch that money. But what I realized is, and for a long time, I was really mad because I was like, I'm not meant to live the life of struggle. Like, clearly, and I'm like, wow, what I didn't get in physical inheritance, I got I'm rich in spirit because of my dad. My entrepreneurship side comes from him, my charisma, the way that I'm able to connect with people. Like the fact that this man has been dead for over 30 years and I come to this town and people are pulling me aside. Your dad is this for me. Your dad was this for me. Your dad impact. That's impact. This man has been dead for over 30 years. And it's like the fact that that's my inheritance, and I could go anywhere in that town and mention his name and people are going to take care of me and look over me and just speak blessings over my life because of what he did for others.
And I want to say that that is how you heal a Chiron in the 10th house womb. That whole energy of him still exists inside your body. And that was, in a way, your kind of movement within the field of energy field of moving his, literally moved, caring for his body with care. And ever since you did that move is kind of when, or even the intentionality of doing it, because a lot of people don't even understand, there are people in ATRs who need to get this and need that and need to get this. And they're like, I don't know where I'm going to get the money. I don't know how to do this. And whatever your intentionality, if you say, I'm going to put away $2 every day in this jar, the intentionality alone shifts the energy. And
Mm.
you were then gifted. You got Chiron and Cancer in the 10th house, your house of the father, the house of the public image, the house of your business, public image, everything. And the fact that you went and took care of his remains, even though he wasn't able or whatever happened to take care of you. And what I want to say, if you want to really talk about uh energy, I would even say that this is why your life has started to look so amazing.
Talk about it. Because the fact that I was trying to make it to DR for 3 years, and finally, when I returned, after I was trying so hard and it was just not working out for me, and when I finally make it with these plans that I had to study herbalism, I finally make it, and I'm going to the Republic because I'm going to a wedding with my man, with a partner. Like, that wasn't even on my bingo card. And to be surrounded by his family, to be going to a wedding, all of his aunts and uncles have been married for 30. Like, this is a family that comes from a legacy of marriage. Like, that clearly, I just told you about my daddy. Like, when he died, there was a lady that was pregnant with his baby, and they couldn't even claim her because it's like, at that was like in the 90s. It's like, well, we have to do a DNA test to claim. Was this, she never got anything. The money was, all his stuff was split. Poor girl didn't get anything. And then 12 years later, me and my older sister go to DR and we're like, oh, down the street lives the girl that supposedly is the daughter of our dad. And we go and I go meet her. This little girl looks just like me.
You
I said,
met
yes. I said,
her? Are
that
you
is her dad's daughter.
you
She
saw what's the name of that thing? Something cake. It was in Jamaica on Netflix. Something cake, spice cake, fruit cake, something,
rum cake, something.
rum cake, something like that. This is that.
So I meet this little girl, like just to tell you, like my dad was just out here, and yeah. So then to go to the Republic, to go with my partner, to be able to go to this wedding, to then be able to go to like lay to rest his remains and just do all that. It was like such a like monumental trip, like a lineage shifting trip. And then wait, I have to share this because shout out to the ancestors. This is why ancestor work is so important. It doesn't matter what culture you came from. I'm like, we got to do the ancestor work. We got to work with the earth. No matter what culture your background is, like all of our ancestors work with the earth in their own way. We got to get back to working with the earth. And that through that, then we do our ancestor and our lineage work. So my great grandmother now on my mother's side, right? Her last name is Rojas, just like mine, which is crazy. That's not normal, right? That your maternal grandmother has the last name of your like of your father, right? Because my father's last name was actually supposed to be Gonzalez. but his mother gave him her maiden name because he was a child out of wedlock. The story I've been finding out ever since I did the ancestor elevation for him. I just found out so much about
When did
his
you do
life.
that? Brought the rosary back?
No, I did that like in 2023 around the time that he popped up in that reading that it was in 2023. And what I did was, yeah, like I did the candle, would elevate it every day, and I would sit and I would just honor his spirit and send him some love. And then, like, I think 2 or 3 days in, I start Rico. He's like a child. I started pulling cards with the intention of just getting to know him more. So I would ask him questions like, what was the hardest thing that your soul was like lesson that your soul was trying to learn while you were alive? Like these very intentional questions, so I could just really get to know him as a man and who he was. And I would pull cards, and it would just give me like it was so. I journaled all of this, so I still have this that I can go back and I understand it even more. I'd ask him questions about his relationship with my mother, questions about his upbringing, questions about his life here on earth, what he still is learning on the other side. It was incredible. And I'll never forget, there was a creek by my house because this is when I lived in Virginia, and I would go sit at this creek. And on the last day of the elevation that I did for him, all of a sudden these birds, I'm there meditating on, these birds come chirping, and they're just chirping so loud, almost like they're whistling. And I heard like, oh, my dad used to whistle. Like he used to, have like and so I'm talking to my mom, and I'm like, I have a question. Did my dad like used to whistle? And she was like, how the hell do you know that? And I was like, oh, because he told
That
me,
was him.
And
That
so
was
all
him.
that to say about my great grandmother has my father's last name, and her name is Virginia. I'm Ada Virginia Rojas, so she's Virginia Rojas, right? So in a way, that was the herbalist in my family. And in 2012, I did a past life regression. In that past life regression, my grandmother popped up, and I asked her why her family was so broken, and she said that there is no love.
Mm.
And that broke my heart because when she passed away, she was the matriarch, and it's like whatever love was still left in her family, she passed away, and it's like everything just went to shit, right? That was in 2012 when I did that past life regression, and that always stayed with me. A few days before my trip to Democratic Republic, I have a dream with her. And in the dream, I'm going to visit her in her house. And there's a gate on the door, and I'm there calling her name, and no one is coming to the door. But I can see her. She's laying down in her bed with like a home attendant or something. And I'm calling her name, and I'm like, oh my God, did she pass away? What's going on? And the home attendant comes, and she's like, I just want to let you know that she's like on her last, like, she's not going to make it much longer. Like, this is like her last. And I'm like, okay, like, well, I came to spend the day with her. So, so I go sit with her in the bed.
In a dream.
In a dream. I sit with her in the bed, and she's laying down. She looked like she was on her last like few breaths. And I get there and I sit next to her on the bed, and all of a sudden she gets up, and it's like she's full of life. And she grabs my hand and she looks me in the eye, and she's like, our family is done being poor. We're done, starving. We're done being in poverty. We're done, we're done with all this. And she's like, our family is rich. We're rich in love. We're rich in spirit. We're so rich. We're wealthy now. We can eat whatever we want to eat. We could live however we want to live. And I woke up out of that dream. Like, I woke up like at 7 a.m. I could not go back to sleep. I was in tears, and I went and I sat at my altar and I started journaling, and I was crying for like 2 hours straight. Because, when you do this work, you're like, is anybody seeing what I'm doing? It's so much work that is done that's not tangible and it's not visible. And I'm like, my siblings don't even know. I feel like I'd be carrying the whole family on my back. I feel like, and then even that, I'm like, my siblings have done their own work. It just doesn't look like my work, but it doesn't mean that they haven't done their work.
And you know what else? What is it, bro? It's not your responsibility.
Right, that part.
But there's so many things that are popping out. We're talking because I don't remember readings or anything like that.
Right.
But all I want, there's memories that are coming up for me that I won't bring up here unless bring it up, but there's just so many things like when readings for people. Let's say I've done a reading for somebody 3 times over the course of 3 years. Like the story builds,
Yeah.
and I don't remember your readings, but what I do feel in my body, and you caught me. I first of all, oh God, so many things to talk about here. I don't know if you got a piece of paper in front of you, but
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm the first thing with your Chiron placement, because I'm going to read the Chiron wound and the fact that you have it in Cancer in the house of the father, house of 10. And money, I mean, yes, 2 is money, but 10 money through, career and public.
Right.
Yeah. So it's success that way. And that's your mid. So this is just who you are. And what is so interesting is the fact that even though your grandmother said that on your great grandmother, your grandmother, your mother's side said that, the the part that's interesting there is a father connection just simply because they have the same last name. So that is almost like what I call, like a signature. Say, yes, this is that and that is this, but
Mm.
I'm right here. I'm here, but I'm also here. Especially with astrology, you can always find like the intersectionality, of
Right.
so many things: work and spirit, relationships and death. There's always these little unique combinations. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to there's so much symbolism here when you are talking about the earth, and the fact that you got into plant medicine is like the earth energy, just the energy, the vibration. And I've
Mhm.
been doing the work. That's what so wild. I know you are doing the work, and people want to know what's the work. Oh, I gotta go to the, do rituals and stand out in the so and so moon. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But why I want to tell you that I know now, listening to this story again, I don't remember the casket. You probably told me, Ada, but I don't. There was something going on with me and uprooted trees. I don't know what it was. I do not remember. So that was timely. You reached me. This is November, you asked me, right?
Yeah, I came back like the first week of
Of
December.
last year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ada, I feel like this was a story you told me 2 years ago. I swear.
That's what the way that we be timeline jumping is probably true.
And the reason why I think it's so important that I am so grateful I gave you that as an answer. That's what I really want to tap into: the gratitude of my evolution as a spiritual advisor, activist. Because depending, and this is for anybody in the room listening, you got to be careful who you're getting readings from. And I'm saying that with love. I'm saying that with love. I am not speaking out about people. And I don't think anybody is fully healed. Um, if you had come to me 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I probably would have told you, Ada, you need to take that rosary and you need to take it to the church and have the priest pray, do a novena or something, or do a mass. Then you need to take it to a cemetery here and bury that rosary, Ada. But guess what? Ada didn't have to do any of that. You know why? Because Ada's been doing the work, and I've been doing the work for myself. And as a medium, I have developed to the point now where I know that the decisions are made in the body.
Mm. That's the most important work that you could do is the body work. Because for a long time, I was just in the soul and the mind. I had an A+ in that area. I was like, the body. Who needs the body?
The
Let me
body.
just astral project over
So
here. Let me just
I didn't know
upper.
what somatic was. I thought somatic was sleep, something sleeping like soma. Like I was like some. I didn't know nothing about somatic body work till 3 years ago. And now when somebody comes to me and says, "What should I do with?" I was like, "Okay, let's calm down, research it." I didn't even have to do that with you because of your journey. I knew that you understood the body. We've talked about herbs. You are tapped in. You're not perfect. None of us are. But I knew you would understand when I said, "How did you feel in your body?" And you knew the answer. And I knew to even ask the question. Because sometimes you just go by the old, there's nothing wrong with the old
Yeah.
stuff, y'all. But a lot of the old stuff comes out of fear
Yes.
and oppression,
Exactly.
systematic oppression. There was a time when we could do decisions based on our body, but the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery and Jim Crow and racism and oppression and patriarchy and capitalism has depleted that in us as a people, and we
Yeah.
are working towards reversing that spell.
And all the systems also that are created that are also, look at psychology is so intellectual, it's so in the mind. It's like come into the body. We know you know how to describe your feelings. We know, do you know how to feel the feelings? Can you describe how it feels? No, you can just tell me, intellectualize it. And it's
Right.
so important to be in the body. The
It's
body knows, the body
so
remembers, and then to adapt. It's so funny. Earlier today, we went to the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens, and I was, reading all the little, and it's like I was reading all about how the plants have adapted to the environment so that they can survive. And it's like we are always, I love tradition. I will always honor and have reverence for tradition. That is the basis and the foundation of everything. But we also have to adapt. And nature been here for
that's how we
billions of years.
that's how we
Nature is the blueprint, is the teacher. If
yeah.
nature's adapting, what makes you think that we shouldn't adapt too?
But here's the thing. We know we could adapt because we know we did not come from people who weren't tapped into the body. So we adapted during the struggle, during now black women and indigenous and melanated women, what are we doing right now, y'all? What are we doing? In this
Nothing.
climate,
Just resting. Nap ministry. I
how long
am a member of the Nap ministry.
do you know how long we were not doing that?
Yeah.
And now we are reversing it. We are adapting it in the reverse.
Right. Right.
Like, no, you are not. And you know what? We had tools. Don't get me wrong. Humming,
Yeah.
rocking. We had the tools, but we didn't utilize them all the time.
Right.
And that's why we died earlier than everybody else. Because our bodies could not adapt to that level,
Mhm.
and it's in your DNA, and it's being passed and passed and passed and passed and passed on and passed on. You are having a child, your grandchild is in your womb with the child you're bearing. So you've already passed on the stress and anxiety or whatever you're dealing with onto an egg, an ovary, an
Yes.
egg.
Listen, epigenetics. I was just talking to a Reiki client about that last week. Like epigenetics is real. The scientists are finally catching up to the grandmas and
Yeah.
what grandma's been saying and
Yeah.
what spirits been saying. They got studies.
Yes. And the healing you did, it's powerful. The healing you did with your dad, and even you were obeying too. That is a word that a lot of us don't realize is involved, is obeying. You heard, your body felt the urge, the need, the desire, and now that basically became part of an intention, a field of intention. And then just the vibration, it was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And the fact that your family, you could have been part of that family where none of y'all talk to each other. All
Right.
his kids, none of y'all talk to each other, and you would have never had known he was being moved. You wouldn't have seen nothing. La, 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 la. You nothing. You would have seen nothing. So there is so much gratitude in all that you had experienced.
So much. And that sister that reached out to me to tell me about what was going on, her and her sister got to enjoy him the most because they were like of age, with him. And she had so many stories. I remember I was like, I want to call you because I want to ask you about my dad. I want to know about my dad as a man, as a father and as a man, but not from a woman that he was with. I want to know from a daughter.
Yeah.
That's a different perspective. And I had the most beautiful conversation with her. I even had to record it because it was so beautiful and so special. She was like, I was a daddy's girl and I still will be a daddy's girl. I don't care what all those women said about him. I'm a daddy's girl forever and ever and ever and ever. She's like, I was with him when he passed away.
Mm,
And this whole time I thought that he passed away from a heart attack because he was also really young. He was only 45. I
mm.
thought he passed away from a heart attack. No, he had like a brain aneurysm from like this is a birth like thing that he was born with. There was like something in his and it was a brain aneurysm and I was like, "Oh my god, that changes so many things." But she's like, every time I see you on Instagram and I see your stories, I see your page, she's like, "You remind me so much of him." Like his spirit, I know you don't know him, but his spirit is so alive in you because you guys were so alike, so
Mm.
alike. And like even like a few months after I did that elevation for him, I remember being like, man, I wish that I could meet my dad now. Like I wish that he was alive now so I could kick it with him now and just ask him all these questions.
Mhm.
And that feeling came from because on YouTube I got served this random video of this show called Amazing something, or like I don't know. Basically, it's like Amazing Race, but instead of for money, you're finding your family members. So these are people that got adopted. These are people that
Mm.
were raised in the foster system,
Love it.
and it's free. It's on YouTube, and you just see the episodes. So like they're on this road trip, but like all the stops that they're going, they're meeting family members. And the
Mm.
episode that I saw was of this girl that was given up for adoption by her mom. She was raised by a wonderful family. She had a beautiful life, but obviously she always wanted to know who her birth mother was and why she gave her up. So the episode that I got fed was their reunion, and oh my god, like it was so, I mean, the mom was just so real and so honest and so authentic. And she's like, I didn't want to give you up, but I wanted you to have a better life. And I knew that it was so beautiful. And I said, man, I wish I could have a reunion like that with my dad.
Yeah.
Don't you know that night I dreamt with my father as if I was visiting him in his home? He
Good
was
grief.
remarried and everything. I was like, of course he would be remarried. He was remarried, introduced me to the woman that he was, his old lady that he was basically with because he was already of older age. It's like him now because he would have been in his 70s. Living with his lady, introduced me to his lady. I said, come sit down, let me show you the family. Pulls out a family album, starts showing me that's your uncle, that's my brother, that's your cousin. And I woke up the next day and I'm like, again, the ancestor work, ask and you shall receive. I got to kick it with my father in spirit.
You're of course. And that's what I be telling people all the time. Okay, grieve, grieve. I understand. Come on, I get it now. I get it. I'm not putting anyone down for the grief. Honey, we don't have time to talk about that. But what I will say is not I'm not being flippant, and I definitely give them time. My friend Yaba just lost her father, Dr. Yaba Blay. She just lost
Mhm.
her father. And she was crying and she was like, he's gone, he's gone. And look, it took everything in me not to say, but you'll be able to deal with him in spirit, girl.
Yes.
Like too soon, Kateria, too soon. Because she knows that.
All right.
She's a child of Oya. She knows that. In the moment, you just have to say yes.
Yeah, you're
They're
human.
gone. They're gone. But y'all,
What were
some
you gonna say about the Chiron and Cancer? You're like, wait, pull out your notebook because I got something for you.
how you know I was about to go get the book?
Uh, hel- you know, you know.
How did you know? Because it's been gnawing at me. You're talking about your dad. And I'm all about, first of all, in family constellations, the father is connected to your money.
Come on now. And you want to hear while she gets the book, I got to tell y'all another crazy daddy story. When I was moving into my apartment in Virginia, I had to, you have to give the first month's deposit. I was waiting for a check to come in from a contract work that I had done. And it was my first check. So, they got to put you into the system, the accounting, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, this check is not going to come in on time for me to pay my rent and the deposit and move in on the move-in date. Like, damn, they're probably going to give my apartment up. Don't you know that because my father had so many businesses and Dominican Republic is so ancient that basically the law there is when someone passes away, and any businesses that they had or whatever, they get sold, the money goes to the children.
Okay.
And so don't you know that there was some building that my dad had that still the lady who bought it from him was trying to sell it. But in order for her to sell it, she had to get the birth certificate of all his children to prove that she had bought it from him, whatever, whatever. And she lives in Switzerland now. She was been trying to sell this building for years. And the only birth certificate that she was missing to show the court was mine. And she was so desperate to sell this building that she was like, I will pay you. I will pay you to send me your birth certificate. I need to sell this building. I don't even live there anymore. And the money that she sent me was the exact amount that I needed to move into my apartment. This was literally 2 years ago, y'all. Can we say provider? He said, I'm not even physical, but there's funds coming your way on my behalf. I literally cannot make this up.
These are some good ass stories. And this is the shit that I be saying and people don't understand. And they think it's more than it has to be. And I would always tell people in readings that it literally is the intentionality. It literally is to give them a glass of water with a candle and a prayer or their name. Now I know I probably gave you a bunch of those, Ada. I feel like I gave you a glass of water with a candle. You
Yeah.
kind of person I would.
Yes. And I was doing that, but I started first with my grandma. So it was just her for a bit. And then literally through the farm, I was like, my dad died and I don't do nothing for him. My grandma she just gets all my love, all my attention. And I'm like, he birthed me. Like, wait a minute.
Conversation. Where did you get? I like to hear testimonials. Where did you hear this?
I feel like I don't know in like one of the conversations in the farm, like I think in the ancestor room when people would share photos of because yes, Kat has an ancestor room and people would just share photos of their loved ones and stories. And I remember I shared a photo of my dad. And then it like just hit me. I was like, oh my God, I've been doing all this ancestor work, but just my grandma, just my great grandma. And the funny thing is that she cannot be bothered. She's so like I remember because she's an herbalist, right? So like in the town, people would come to her.
Where's her
She
sign?
we don't even know when she was born. She was so old. Nobody knows how old she was when she died. She didn't have a birth certificate because she was born in the countryside. No, till this day we do not know how old that lady was. We don't even know when her birthday was. Like I found a video of her the other day. She's so funny. But so what was I getting at? What was I
Sorry.
talking about?
You were always talking about your grandmother, and then you was in the
Oh,
farm.
the altar, yeah. So I was said, oh my God, I just been spending all my time with my grandmother, and like she cannot be bothered because I'm like, oh grandma, can you teach me some recipes? Can you send me some herbalism? Can you? She was nothing. I was like, okay, when I do readings, can you? She's like, okay, you want something to do when you do readings? Light a bay leaf before your reading. But I could tell that she was just giving me that to have something to do. She's like, this little girl is just bothering me for stuff like you don't need. And then one of like a friend tour of mine was like, well, that makes sense that your grandma can't be bothered with you because it's like, okay, you have to think about it this way. She was the horse and carriage and you are a Tesla. So it's like, what do you want for her to tell you? Like, you have already advanced the lineage so much that she's like, there's nothing that I could tell you. There's no recipe. There's no bay leaf. There's no, girl, you are it. Like, you are the thing that you keep trying to get me to give you, you know? So my grandma was just like, and I'm like,
And she's like, I'm fourth house, honey. She's like, I'm not 10th house. You're like, I'm the fourth.
Like, I cannot help you there. And then, yeah, so because of the farm and the ancestor room, I was like, wow, I've only ever really venerated my great grandmother. And I need my dad. Like, that is my literally like my father. Like, and then I was like, oh, and it's connected to your money. I mean, not just because of that, but it's like all these stuff that it wasn't even in my peripheral. Like, I wasn't even thinking about that. And it's like the minute that I was like, oh, I need to start with him, I need to start there, or I need to continue on to him and now give him my time and attention. It's like, just.
That's enough for me though. It's the money. Oh, that's enough for me.
It's like you got me there,
Oh,
especially when you ain't got it. I'm like, oh, do you just.
like, where my money?
Because it's like spirit is going to hit you where it's going to hurt the most so that you could wake up and snap out of it. And it's like, oh,
Right.
well, guess what? If you ain't got no money, you can't go to the Dominican Republic.
And,
If you ain't got no money, you
right.
can't. If you ain't got no, you don't even got no money to buy a candle to put on your altar. How about that? How about that?
Have money for flowers. I don't have money for good food to put down.
Right. And now you become the altar.
Right.
Forget an altar. You don't even got funds to fund the altar. You become the altar.
So there. Now I wanted to read the Chiron and Cancer to you, and see, now that everybody knows your business, I want to see how it resonates. Now we know it's 10th house things. The wound is played out in the area of career, public arena, business, mastery of our earthly purpose,
Wow.
and or through our need for recognition, appreciation, Leo moon, respect and acknowledgement of our achievements. So that's all 10th house, right?
Okay.
Now we're going to talk about, that's where the wound is. Because the thing is, when you pinpoint the wound, it doesn't have to be across your whole life. There's 12 houses of things that it could be in. This one is saying this child is the daughter of a master entrepreneur who helped his community, nurtured his community, loved a lot of women, had a lot of babies, created. Now, the wound itself. Okay. Woo! And this is what your great grandma said right here. You ready for this first sentence? The wound for Chiron and Cancer, the core belief and feeling that love was lost,
That is crazy.
was never there to begin with, and or will never be found in the future.
You cannot make this up.
Can you repeat what your great grandmother told you?
I said, what? Like, what's wrong with her family? Why is her family so broken? Literally, why is her family so broken? And she said, there's no love. There is no love.
Let me keep going. The feeling, belief that the world is not supportive, nurturing, caring, mothering, and or loving. Alternatively, that although love exists, it is either forever unrequited or we are not deserving of it. The core belief that we are unlovable or have been abandoned. Now imagine a Leo moon. What did Shashetta say? Love and joy.
Adored.
Got this wound in Chiron and Cancer. Now the search, and then I was just gonna let it sit. The search. The search. Are you ready for the search?
Thank God I'm sitting down.
The search for our roots, for reunification with the mother and or for the cosmic bosom, but it's 10th house. The wellspring of creation, the source of love, ultimately the search for the love within.
Mm. Wow. That is, yeah. Like, that is the cliff notes on the last 5 years of my life. And that It was all triggered by my Saturn return and my mother wound. That's what triggered. That was the starting point, right? Because my Saturn return was Saturn and Capricorn in the fourth house. So my Saturn return was like mother wound. Like, hello, look at the patterns, look at the connections.
Opposite 10th.
And then
Where this Chiron wound is.
right. So it's like that triggered it, but then it took me across the other side of my chart to then the 10th house.
Yeah,
That was the catalyst.
opposite your Saturn.
The work started there and then ended up here.
But it allows you now. Let me tell you something. And people here, we have Chiron. We got Chiron and Cancer in the house right now. See ya.
Yeah, check your charts, people. If you got Chiron and Cancer, welcome to the club.
The thing is that this was that whole search. I'll take a picture for it and send it to you. But this was you not even really knowing about Chiron and Cancer. You had an inkling, but it's not the inkling that makes the thing happen. What you have proven is that you were already on that path. You probably had some. I don't know what your Pisces place. Pisces.
Sixth house.
What do you have there?
It's just nothing. Just Pisces in the sixth house.
But you know what was there? You know it was there at that time was in the last 3 years was Neptune and transiting Saturn. And those two together were causing, hold on a minute. Oh God. Those two were causing a lot of disruption in Cancer in Pisces. So commend you because I don't know where your Neptune is. I don't know where anything is, Virgo or whatever. I just want to know. I just want people to know that you could be living your astrology without knowing your astrology.
Right.
And that's why obedience with spirit, because spirit is part of the galactic cosmos, the of planets, the energy of the sky, stars, everything is so important in our
It's
life.
a map. It's such an incredible map.
It's a map. And it's energy work. It's energy work. It's energy work. And that's again, body is so important because your sixth house, the body, I see. And so you were in the midst of tapping in, I think more so, wouldn't you say, over these past 5 years? We just said we didn't know nothing about no body.
Oh, the body was not part of the trifecta for me. It was like mind and soul. Like I was locked in there.
And sixth
Locked
house
in.
Pisces is where where that Neptune was, where that Saturn was, where still there's still some things there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury in retrograde is there, Mars is there.
Right.
So anything you find, the body, the sixth house is where you would read the messages on what's going on in life.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm just now also like processing the last 5 years. My body took the hit, you know. I gained weight because my body was trying to anchor itself as
Yeah.
I worked through all of that.
Yes.
And for me, this is the year that I fully like process all of that and move my body to move all of that energy fully through and out, right? Because it's been processed in the mind, it's been processed in the soul, and it's been processed in the body, but it hasn't moved out the body. And that's what I'm working through, but just getting more movement in, walking more, like not even trying to do the most. Like
as an Aries sun, I ain't worried about you. You Aries people, y'all be getting on, y'all get on the treadmill for a week and then y'all be back to being like them. Y'all go to the gym for a week and y'all be all right.
So it's like, yeah, my body's finally catching up to all the work that I've done. This is the year for me for that to like, you know?
Yeah. And you know what? I think now with what you have gone through, this is just a perfect time. We need to, child, we don't, we didn't know where we was going to go in this conversation. You might have had an idea. I didn't know. And you have so much ahead of you. I want to know what, because it's 8:30. Is it 8:30?
I know we just went into a portal right there.
I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what your plans are. I'm going to be on. You know how I'm on people. When I know their gift and I see their shit, I am on them. They know this. So I want to know. You've been on this Substack for quite a while.
2 years.
You've been on here. I came on here 2 years ago too. You've been on here. I want to know, what are you going to do? What, aesthetics, branding, you got the herbalism, you've got it all, girl. You got your man, you got the travel, you got the dog, you got the New York City apartment, you got the. I want to know so I can just watch.
I know that I need to get back. I took some time away from online, right? I was giving to my community. I needed to give that energy to myself, right? I went into hermit mode. And then I was pushed out of my cave because I got so comfortable in that cave. I set up shop there. I had my cave looking real nice. I was like, oh, I'm never leaving. I love it here. And then Spirit's like, yeah, but you don't belong. You like that era. That was an era. That was a time. So it's so funny because you would think, as someone who has been in the spotlight or someone who's lived a very public life, that it would just be so easy and natural for me to go right back into it. I've been having the hardest time working through what it looks like in this era of my life to show up and shine again.
Yes.
And there is a fear there, and it's not fear rooted in like, it's the fear of like, do it scared. It's that kind of like, it's like, I know I need to do this. It's that kind of fear of like, and I wouldn't say it's even fear. It's the courage. It's like, I know that I need to have the courage to show up, because I know that when I do that, everything else is gonna align. Because I'm like, again, Spirit is gonna always hit you where it hurts the most, in your pockets. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I gotta be visible so people can see me, hear my transmissions, because I know too that this vocal cords, like, when I had my podcast, which was, I did one season, it was called Work Your Magic. Till this day, people reach out to me like, girl, what was that one podcast episode that you had about blah, 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 blah? And the podcast is just on Spotify now. It's not even on Apple. So I was like, oh, Spirit has been nudging me. Like, I gotta get back to using my voice again. I gotta get back. And so there's a part of me that's like, oh, I gave so much for 16 years. So much. And so it's like trying to really get clear on like, what does showing up look like now? Does it look like being, in a more private community where selected people, it's like, oh, I can't just give this to everybody how I used to. I have to be more selective. And then,
I got
it also has to be reciprocal. So is it the podcast behind a paid wall? Is it, me just showing up like, so that I can fully show up without feeling like, oh, well, I'm just going to hold back a little bit because I don't feel like y'all deserve all of this goodness. So I have to hold myself back. So it's like, well, if I just create a separate space where I could just fully, so I know it's that. And I really thank you for pushing me to remember this and to step into this again, because I feel like this is the catalyst for me to launch my podcast again. I'm going to change the name of it. It's not going to be Work Your Magic anymore, because I don't want to work nothing. I don't even want to work my magic. Work Your Magic. I'm like, that is so funny that's what I called.
What you want to talk about?
I want to talk about all the spiritual things. I want to talk about this conversation that we just had, or more conversations that I want to have. And I feel like for a long time too, because I was so, again, used to like showing up in this community, it's like, oh, well, I can't just fully go into like these stories of my dad, because I got to explain, or I got to educate, or whoever is meant to understand what I'm talking about, my stories, my transmissions, is like, you catch up. Yes. I'm not here to catch you up. You got to catch up.
You got to catch up. And I want to commend you. This is what you call tapping in, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a few things I know about Ada. I don't have her chart in front of me, but there's a few things I know. Okay, you ready? You have Libra in the first house.
Sure do.
Which means you have Scorpio in the second house.
Oh, that motherfucking
So,
Scorpio.
but that's good.
It is, but the death and rebirth in the second house, and then
But that's your money house.
Pluto in Scorpio in the second house.
Say it again.
Pluto in Scorpio in the second house.
Okay. I mean, my chart ruler is Scorpio, honey. I mean,
God.
and Mars. So it's transformation, which just means you get to change a lot. You
Right.
get to churn. You get to make money off of those woo woo things. This is very clear, right?
Right.
Third house, you have Sagittarius. What does that mean to you? Communication house, the Gemini house, communicating about what, ma'am?
Philosophy, spirituality, esoterics, mysticism,
And travel.
and travel.
Darling, what have you been doing? And darling, you all that content, you people are like, oh, and so you have what I see the umbrella for is the experience. The experience. The
Taking people on
experience.
travels,
The experience.
taking people on travel experiences.
Not necessarily physically, but
Oh,
but
yeah,
yes, physically too. But travel experiences connected to what?
to my travels. And let me tell you,
What topic?
oh, spirituality.
And
And
honey,
what?
you have to, you're the curator. You're
Mm,
the curator. You're not the one saying, come on, everybody. No. These are things you have put together based on your experience.
right.
You're not sending people off to nowhere you haven't been. People want to experience what you're experiencing. Period.
And even that, I've been very clear, like in my Cuba travels, I was like, this is not a travel guide. That's not what I'm doing, because the reason I had this experience is because of, obviously, like, my partner's a musician. He got to play in Cuba. So we're getting a whole different side of Cuba. We're getting a different kind of treatment, but also because of who I am and my aura and my energy and my intentions. Like, before going to Cuba, his friends that were bringing him there to play, what do you guys want to experience when you're in Cuba? We said music, the people, and spirituality. We went to see a Babalawo when we were there. Like, come on. Like, that was. And so it's like that happened also because of who I am. So I can't, you're not going to replicate this experience because it was my experience to have. And this was for me. Now, I felt called to share the experience with you all, not all of it, but what I feel, what needs to come through so that you can be inspired, find your own map, look at your chart, and go
And
have your experiences.
I'm going to prove it to you one more time.
Come on now. Come on. I'm here for this reading.
What do you
And y'all are,
ninth house?
the ninth house is what is in my ninth house? That's
Gemini.
Taurus? Taurus?
Gemini.
No. Gemini.
Do you have any signs there?
No.
Guess what? Gemini, communication, the third house we just talked about. The ninth house is Sagittarius' house.
Right. Philosophy. Oh my
And
God. Yes.
you have Sagittarius in the third house.
Right.
No, second house. Second house.
No. Third.
So look at that juxtaposition.
Wow.
If that's not like a light, wah,
That is so.
communicate.
And are you ready for this? Where's my Mercury in?
I don't know.
My Mercury is in Taurus.
Luxury.
Experience.
To me, luxury is Taurian things.
Right. Absolutely.
It could be me on a beach chair looking out at the ocean.
Right.
Hear what's behind me. As long as you're bringing me a good drink
Right.
and some fish on a plate.
Exactly.
It's all you. I know. I know these things. This is my purpose. Is to let you what earthly pleasures.
Right. And communicating that. Mercury's the house of communication. Communicating earthly pleasures.
Communicating about it. But Ada, also the plant work.
Listen, the way that I received a huge activation being in, like, I was so resistant to being in Virginia because I had this plan to go to DR and study herbalism there. My middle name is Virginia. My great grandmother, the herbalist, her name is Virginia. I said all points are me.
I remember that. I was
All
like,
signs are pointing to me staying in Virginia and learning herbalism from this white woman in the mountains. Like, oh, all right, I surrender, you know?
yeah.
But the activation that I received there, oh my goodness, like now, you know, these trips that I've been taking with my boyfriend, this is the first like international travels that I've done because I wasn't traveling anywhere during all that time. The land, the way that I'm able to connect to the land, the way that the plants be talking to me, the ideas that I be getting, I'm like, oh my God, I want to create land essences based off of my travels. There is coming to me. I got a whole notebook of just ideas and
And your visuals are stupendous. And I know
thank you so much.
I know you would do it right. Because the thing about I know about you, Ada, even though I haven't been on anything you've curated, because I know you've curated things, and so that you've already done that. And the one thing I know about you, I would trust you. If I say, Ada, what the toilets look like in there, Ada? I know Ada ain't gonna have me go to no crazy place with toilets that look unless that is the experience that people don't care about. Because people don't mind outdoor showers. People don't mind that. You will create things for groups, small groups, intimate, exclusive. The Sala. Can you talk about the Sala?
Yes. So, my boyfriend is a musician, producer, and DJ. And so our ritual at home every morning, what do? We wake up, he starts playing records. He got a crazy record collection. Starts playing records, we burn some incense, and like one of us will make breakfast for each other. And that's our morning ritual. And one day I'm like, man, this is so special. I wish that we could invite like people to our living room or something so that people could experience this because it's such a beautiful way to start your day. It's luxurious, it's very earthly pleasure, you know? The music is and the way the music selection that he picks is so good. He takes me on a little journey every morning.
I know a good DJ. He good.
Oh, he's incredible. Aries Sun, another two Aries together. Can you picture it?
Yes.
Aquarius Moon, Gemini Rising. That's his placements, his big three.
Gemini rising. Lucky. Lucky there.
Yes.
Lucky.
So it's just like such a vibe. So then I'm like, man, we should do like an event or something so that we can like other people can experience this. And because we do it in our sala, which is living room in Spanish, we could call it sala sessions. So it just so happened that he had gone on a trip to Berlin and a record store there had asked him to do like a listening event. And he was like, what about if we did sala sessions? That's the event and we do it in Berlin. So we go on this trip, we go to Berlin. That was the first Sala session. We did it in Berlin in October. And it was so cool because the record store has like this room in the back. They have hi-fi speakers and like a little booth where we could sit down and like floor mats and pillows. And I had gone incense shopping. I went shopping for tea because I'm like, it's one thing for me to bring tea and people are gonna be like, well, where can I get this tea? Because I do a custom tea blend for the session. And I said, let me find something local. That way I can tell them to go support a small business here. So I find this Japanese and Asian tea shop that's ran by a black German man. And oh, we had a ball with him. Incredible teas. Bought some incredible teas for him. So the event starts with I have incense burning, and also now we love incense. So now when we travel, we travel and we collect incense from our different travels. So we had some incense burning that we had got brought from London in Berlin. I chose this custom tea blend to ground people and to open up their heart for the medicine that was going to be the music. And then I do a meditation to clear everyone's energy and to ground them so that they're present for what the music is there to do. And the music is the healer. The music does the healing, and that is such a different way for me to show up and do events because usually I'm the healer. I'm holding the frequency, I'm holding the room. And it's like for this, it's like, yeah, I just create the ambience, but the music and the incense and the tea, they're the ones doing the work. And then he does like a 2-hour set of, I mean, it's a musical journey that he takes you on. You're gonna listen to anything from gospel to R&B to jazz to whatever is on his heart to play. Sometimes he'll play some of his own music that he plays. And the first time we did it, he's like, man, that was as cathartic as a DJ set. That literally the same feeling that I get when I play in a club, and that was the same, and it was so beautiful and magical.
Healing frequency.
Yeah, so we did that one in Berlin, and then we've done already two so far in New York. We have another one coming up on March 29th. So if anyone is available and you're free, you don't have no plans, on March 29th
York.
in it's a Sunday from 4:30 to 7:30 in Brooklyn, near Fort Greene, in front of Navy Yards. Come through
Oh,
to Sala Sessions. Like, and we do it in a coffee shop. We know the business owners, they're wonderful, and they have hi-fi speakers, so the sound, you just get enveloped in
yeah.
the sound. It sounds so incredible. We have candles everywhere, incense burning, the tea blend. We have like pillows and stuff on the floor, and it's just so beautiful. At the last one, the each one that we do, the energy is different because it's also the people in the room, so the energy shifts. The last one we had a little less people than normal, so we had more space for people to like spread out. People were cuddling. There was couples there cuddling. There was friends just holding each other and rocking each other back and forth. It's like a portal of love, and I feel like that is me and his and I's love letter to the world. It's like we both are healers in our own right. It's the same tree, but the medicine is a different
It's
branch.
the same field too. It's the same quantum field. Say that what you said again. It's like say that what you said again.
Yeah, it's the same tree. We both come from the same root, but the branches express themselves differently. So he does it through his music, and I do it through the plant work and Reiki and my energy work. And then the beauty of it, that like it just clicked to me really in the last session, because someone asked us like, "Oh, how did we meet? How did we grew up in church together?"
Church.
We've known each other since we were kids, so it's like this is a frequency and a feeling that we were both attuned to at a young age. And we were attuned together, right? Because he was playing the drums at the church. I was a Sunday school teacher at my church. So it's like,
The gospel choir and the junior usher board in church.
come on now. And so it's funny because I was a Sunday school teacher for the children, and he activates so much of my inner child.
Mm.
And the fact that we get to play together in this way and then serve the collective is such a gift. And then I don't even have to do the work, because the plants do the work, the music does the work, the incense do the work.
Yes.
Man, if you would have told me when I was in Virginia, just like questioning, like, what?
Right. What am I here? Why am this white lady? This and I remember. I think you got a reading while you were there because you were like, "Oh, like, I'm in the woods." You did not have a good time. You were like, "Why am I? Why do I have to be here?"
Because I kept running, like I kept trying to make some fetch happen, and girl, fetch was not gonna happen. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Be present, like surrender, like stop trying to control what this is.
Love
And
that.
finally, when I let go, and it's so funny because you think I used to think that I'm like, I've surrendered, I'm open, I'm here. No, just when you think you surrendered, surrender even more, surrender even more. And I remember I read this quote, and I think it's the book called like the 99 Names of God. It's like a Sufi book on,
Hmm.
they don't have one name for God. They have 99 names for God to describe the beloved, which is so incredible. And one of the things that it was talking about, it's like when you surrender and you think surrender even more, because guess what? All creation is made in the void. So
Mm.
it's like let
Mm.
yourself hit rock bottom. They have a beautiful famous quote. Miriam Hassan, I love her work. I'm a student of her work. It's like the Sufis have a quote that says like die before you die. Right? So in that moment, I was dying. I was dying before was dying. And it's like, oh my God, can I,
Yes.
And I worked a lot with the energy of the goddess Kali Ma, because she's death, destruction, like burning everything down,
Pluto.
Pluto, tower after tower moment. I remember I used to get so pissed off. I would pull cards for myself. Tower, tower, tower,
I
tower, tower.
tower card now. I love a good tower card.
I had to learn to love it because I just want to throw that deck across the room. Like, how is it every week I sit in front of my altar and I pull another tower card? And it don't matter the deck. It could be a deck about plants. It could be a tarot deck. It could be an oracle deck. It could be a mermaid deck. It could be an animal deck.
Right,
It's
right,
tower.
right, right. Roll, tear it down. Yeah, kick it out of here.
At one point, I had to look at the cards. Is every card in here a tower card? Because how is it? How is it another tower card? An ancestor deck, tower card.
I went through the deck out the window. Like the little rascals meme, like, get this out of my face.
Yes, I was so mad.
Very
And it's like, no, die before you die. Like,
yes.
allow yourself to just get to the void, to just complete darkness, just nothing, nothing. I
No.
wasn't even looking forward to, well, how am I? No, I'm like, I'm just worried about the next second, the next moment, just
I
completely detached.
love your term that I will be stealing. So I need you to repeat it. And I never heard this before. I love new terms from the young. Something about fetching.
Oh, Fetch, the movie Mean Girls. It's like, when she's like, Gretchen, stop trying to make Fetch happen.
I
In that part of Mean Girls.
I know what it means to me, how I feel, but tell me what you believe it means because it's so good right
Yes,
now in
it's
every
like,
life.
in the movie, she's trying to make like Fetch a cool thing, like make it a thing, like make it a thing that everybody says. And it's like, girl,
But
stop trying to make Fetch.
like chasing,
Yes.
fetch. Like you're trying to chase a thing all the time.
Right. Oh, and
And
boy,
there's
I was.
nothing to chase. There's nothing. I will never chase again. I will never chase again. I'm not trying to make fetch happen. No, baby. I'm not trying. I gotta get that dollars. Money is good. Yes, money is good and nice, but money is energy. And
Right.
trust me when I tell you the vibration that you give off, okay, of just wanting to live and be in the present will be matched by the resources you need to make that happen in your life.
Yeah.
Does that mean a Benz? Well, I don't want a Benz to be honest.
Right.
Does it mean I can catch a car, a ride share anywhere I want to go? Yes. Hop on a plane anywhere I want to go? Yes. Does it mean I can eat good food? Yes. We all those things that we grasp for capitalism is a fetch game, you know.
Right.
And trust me when I tell you, it took me a while to get here. If you had talked to me a month ago, I would have been yelling at my father at a family constellation saying, "Where my money?" And then after the constellation done, I was like, I don't ask you anything about money again. Thank you very much, sir. This is not your job. See you later. And
Oh.
even care, not to even care. It will come. It sounds so crazy when you step over on the other side of that line. Have I been on the other side of this line before? Yes. It's a constant being drawn back over
Right.
and being able to pull yourself back over to the side of knowing that you will be okay. We are safe. I pick being safe in my body over worrying about some fetch shit. I choose that. I'm not hustling no more, even in my mind, even if the hustle was just in my mind.
Yes.
And that means not looking at what somebody else doing
Right.
unless they ask me to look and do an assessment. But I am no comparison to nobody.
Right.
I approve of myself. I accept myself.
Mhm.
And that is it. That is it. That is it. That is it.
Right. And trying to look for safety outside of yourself. Well, if I have this amount of money, that means I'm safe. If I live in this kind of house, that means I'm safe. If I have this kind of friend circle, that means I'm safe. If I dress like this, that means I'm safe. It's like our idea of safety. And it's like the universe will remove everything that was outside of you that you thought equals safety so that you can learn to rely on yourself and on your own inner safety and that your relationship to safety gets rebranded. Especially with that Pluto and Scorpio in that second house. Oh, hello, hello. I have been to the pits. And I'm like, it was one of my old clients reached out to me and she's like, hey, like, I need to talk to you. I would love to set up some sessions because I'm having some like money trauma. Like, I just can't work through. And I just had to laugh because I'm like, of course, I always say like your clients when you're healing, you're doing this, work with people. Your clients will always be like a past version of you or something that you have to work through. They're always mirroring like because you're just a few steps ahead of them. That's what it is. But they're always like a past version of you. That so when she texts me that, I'm like, oh baby, do I have? And I just had to laugh because I was like, is that why I've been through so much death and rebirths in the second house?
Yes.
So I can help people with their money shit. That is so crazy to me. That is absolutely insane to me.
And your 10th house screams that based on what we just talked about for this whole time with your dad. Proves it. Yes.
I just had to laugh and I'm like, oh baby, yes.
My
EFT tapping.
inner child. A lot of people end up coming to me now. I know this. But my Chiron being in the 5th house, which is the house of child, Leo's house, right? It's about inner child. And so now if I help others, remember this, Ada, when you help others, it blesses you.
Right.
With your womb.
Your Chiron is in Leo in the 5th house. Why did I not know that before? This makes so much sense. This is why I left you that comment on that photo of you playing cards in school because it's like, it's the same. Like, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
The aura is the same.
I'm supposed to be like a child. Always exploring, always seeking, always playing, always creating, always dressing in colorful hair and braids.
Yes.
And being creative and being allowed to be creative one way one day and a different way another. Allowing who? My fucking self. I ain't care what nobody say no more. I do not care. I do not.
This makes so much sense too.
Other people to not care about what their inner child wants to do.
Yes. And why I'm so gagged that you have Leo in the 5th house and Chiron and Leo, because this is why we just
Chiron in Pisces, but in Leo's house.
Yes. This is why we vibe so well because do you know I have a stellium in the 5th house?
Oh, in what?
Aquarius. I have an Aquarius stellium in the 5th house.
I know Aquarius because you told me you had Pisces in the 6th. I said she got Aquarius in the 5th. I said, whoa. But I said, where are all your signs? When we were going over everything, I was like, where's all her signs at?
I have a stellium in Capricorn in the 4th house, and I have a stellium in Aquarius in the 5th house. So it's like my inner child, I'm here to play. I'm here to have fun. I'm here, like literally.
And the 4th house is the IC, ancestral.
Yep.
That tells you got matrilineal. I don't care what nobody say. Matrilineal, ancestral, but your matrilineal line is there. It's just when you start to get older and older, young people, it's harder to talk to them about their charts because they haven't lived long enough to listen to a fucking word you're saying. And it really isn't, you know what I mean? And I don't blame them. You cannot explain things until you have experienced a lot of things.
You can't explain time or experience. You can't explain that. You just
can't
gotta
explain that. You can't explain real hardship and not having a mama to call for money or Zelle you or pay your phone bill, or you could literally be out on the street, not because you don't have anybody, but because literally because you don't have anybody. There are those lives, you know what I mean? And you can't, again, a baby doesn't know what hot is until they touch something hot. There's just no way. Do you know anybody in their life who's never been harmed or burned or anything like that? And then from that point on, you're like, oh, I did that. I know, what happens. And yes, Sashetta, you need at least one Saturn return.
Right. Your frontal cortex is not even developed yet. You got to go through your Saturn return for that to happen. At least one.
At least one. And I'm about to go into my second, and I pray to third. But my second one is coming up in May. I mean, it's already in the house of my Saturn, but the return comes in May, and I'm excited now. There's whoever out there is going through their second Saturn return. this is a time where you should be excited as opposed to the first. And
Right.
if you're not excited about your second Saturn return, go find a good reader
Mm,
and because at this age you're supposed to be able to deal with be happy about it. You should be at a
right. I can't wait to hear your field notes from your second Saturn return. Oh,
Oh, but you know what? I don't know if you finished the first one because it was all about the Empress card that was pulled yesterday. Black women still feeling, even though we're going through our healing. There's still that sucking about work and
mm,
pleasure and rest. There's still what we were talking about.
right.
So I think that what you are about to put together, based on what we talked about today.
Hold on. Now
Oh,
my phone jumping off in agreement.
I think that's a nice closer too. The phone falling and all of that. I that once you start getting working on that, you are saying that you and I do, or anyone else out there, is if you build a foundation, you can do anything you want.
Right.
Notice that you ever notice that you're all this is just a matter of something you've done before in another module. You've used that tool before. You've done this. The bump bump transformer.
Yes. Yes.
Bring it back.
Hold on. What are you looking for here? Other shit? Um,
Hi.
maybe Rico took it. He's about to walk Rico and Kel fashion shoes.
So I just mean you have everything you need.
Right.
This is just you feeling the what you were talking about before, the courage, the all of the other what you have. You're an Aries. I'm not worried about you. You do things all the time. There's only something little holding you back. And I think what was holding you back just before this call when you were saying was thinking that there was a lot of work involved in whatever you have to do.
Right.
And
That's
there's,
all I know,
there's
or all I knew.
say it again.
That was all I knew. And it's like, no, this is a new. I have rebirthed myself.
You have everything. You have everything.
You know?
You big time have the idea. And you already have all the pieces. You are already doing the thing that you love. You're traveling with your man. Y'all are traveling all over the world. They want him in store. You ain't got to go hustle up a store. All you got to do is bring your herbs and your tea and your Reiki energy. Goodbye, Ada. And then you talking to people up, talking. Oh yeah, I could bring like 5 people here. I could bring 5 people here next year. I could bring 5 people. All the stop. Oh, we could do this, that, and the other. Team up with a travel agent, whatever experienced person local to that town already does this. Boom, 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 boom. You already know. Does everybody give Ada some hearts in the chat? Let her know that she already know. So there's
Mm,
nothing holding you back.
mm,
Heard a little something before
thank
we
you.
came on. I don't hear it no more. Look at that. Hearts.
Oh,
I would go
thank
on one of
you.
your trips, mainly because I'm hitting the road. I would love to go on one of your trips. I wouldn't have to arrange nothing. I'd be like, hey, y'all, Ada's got to stop here in so and so. We going on that trip. Hey, where you going next month? Oh, Ada's got a trip.
Yes.
I'm going
And
in.
not even, and it doesn't even have to be a trip. Like I, you know, my partner with these parties that he does, these are portals that he's creating. Like if you love house music,
Yes.
if you love like the and let me tell you something, when we got together, I'm like, what, you be playing parties till 10 o'clock in the morning? Like I don't got it in me to stay out till 10 o'clock in the morning. What do you mean an overnight party? What do you mean a
I love
24-hour party? How does that even work?
I will come to
We
that.
went to this party the other day that I'm like, I gotta find a way to do this for our people. Like it was a loft party, right? And it was in a loft. It's private, so it's not even published on social media. You got to be on an email list, and it's like who he DJ'd at this party. I think what time did it start? Like at 10 or something, and then he played till 2 o'clock in the morning, and then another DJ came and played till 6 a.m. It's in a loft, so it feels like you're in someone's house. It's cozy.
Mm.
They had someone preparing vegan food all night long. Some of the best freaking, I said, oh, I need to take you home. Some of the best vegan food I've ever had. And it was rotating the menu throughout the evening. She started with Mexican food, some pozole and dips and spreads, and then it changed into Mediterranean food throughout the evening. There was a guy who was a fruit decorator and just like had different fruits throughout the evening, and it was a fruit display. He had grapes hanging off a chain from the ceiling with a spotlight on it. I said, I ain't never seen no shit like this before. I ain't never seen no grapes stripping on a pole with a spotlight on it. That's how, and they were so juicy, and I'm like, what? And everybody was so kind, such a vibe. And then the dance floor has all the speakers in four corners, so you're in the music and everybody's just dancing like there's nobody motherfucking watching. And at one point, he played an edit of Stevie Wonder, as. And I had to fight everything in me not to cry because that's one of my favorite songs. And then everybody's just dancing and you can feel the music in your body. And I said, this is what's wrong with the damn world and our community. You not out here shaking ass. You not out here listening to Stevie Wonder as on a really good sound system with people that are dancing like nobody's watching. And the lights are doing their thing and the
We
floors
need
are
more.
wooden.
We
So
need
your
more.
knees don't hurt because you're dancing all night because they got wooden floors and then they put
Yeah,
baby powder on the floor so that you could
yeah,
be out here. I'm
yeah.
like, this is what is missing. This
It's,
is what we need.
it's what
Like,
we.
and people, it's like, think, oh, clubbing. I don't want to go out. I don't want to stay out till 2
Oh,
o'clock in the morning. You will get your life when you're out
yeah,
here dancing to this music with high frequency by someone who is playing intentional music.
yeah.
And I'm like, so it's like, the trips, yes, are wonderful, but I was like, come shake your ass till 2 o'clock in the
But
morning
that's
at one of
a
these
trip for me.
parties.
That's a trip because wherever it is, I gotta get there.
And I had no idea that this world existed because I didn't, I'm like, my kind of carrying on was going to a sound bath. That was me,
Yes,
so it's like, oh, this underground music, this underground world that exists in Brooklyn,
I grew up on that underground music. I grew up.
mind blown.
Yeah, so said a name. I'm not gonna say it at the end. Don't say it because I don't want to advertise them because they are whatchamacallits. They are what do you call them people? Don't say the name. They are appropriators.
Oh, okay.
You ever heard of them?
Send me a message after. I probably have heard. This is on you, but I probably have. But and it was wonderful. They were wonderful, such lovely, kind people. They have an apothecary downstairs, so
What?
the girl made a fresh tea. I'm like, oh my god, they had a chill out room. So when you just wanted to chill out from the party, you can go
Yeah.
lay down, take a little nap. They had like more chill music playing in that room on the lower floor. I'm like, we need these kind of parties for our community. Oh my
Yes.
god.
I think a model of what she said for us would be good because they're everywhere. Chapters everywhere, all over the world.
I had no idea.
Those chapters all over the world, and it's appropriation. And but I agree with you. There needs to be something like that for us again, again. So Ada, you got a lot going on here in the ideas area. Definitely no pressure at your ease, but there's no excuse now because you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Started with
Yep,
us. Mm-hmm.
it did start with us. Shout out to my people from the farm up in
Mm-hmm.
my people up in here for sure. Nice to,
Yes.
and I hope y'all are following Ada. This is your farm flower child sister up in the hizzy. She's one of the, when I first met you, Ada, I didn't even know she was like a big wig. I didn't know Ada was all that. I did not know. I just saw that video. I was like, oh, I like her. I'm just gonna watch. And I'm watching and watching. I said, she's so cool and she's feisty. I like a feisty person on here. Authentic feisty. You know what I mean? And you were just fed up with everybody. You were
Mm-hmm.
your audience that day. And I didn't know anything. When I interviewed you on the farm, I knew nothing about the hair care business, nothing. I didn't know nothing about you. I was like, oh, Ada is a big shot.
Yeah, because it's like I don't lead with that. But if you do your research.
which I didn't, surprisingly, because normally I would, but
But
then it was
that's
out there.
good because it was even more real. It was just like a
He had a whole ass business out of Chicago.
they beat with product in Target and Walmart. Just
And guess
mind
what?
blowing.
That experience, I just want you to know, and I probably told you this in a reading already, that experience will come in handy again very soon. I'm going to tell you the difference. Your mindset before was to operate under those kinds of systematic blah blah capitalism blah blah blah. And let me tell you something, your people was not going to give you their sacred medicine for you to get got like Honey Pot. Should we list the list? Honey Pot, Tabitha Brown, come on, Shea Moisture. Let's Kim
Carol's
Flowers.
daughter.
Who?
Carol's daughter.
Whose
She just
daughter?
bought her company back
She did.
about a year ago. Yep, they just celebrated the 1 year anniversary. She bought her company back.
This is my girl right here, Body Glaze. If I see her, I found her on TikTok. And she makes the best little things. But what I'm saying is, she's still independent. But that's when it goes down the fucking drain. Is when the fetch, because now you start to think you started this company to get to fetch. Now
Right.
you feel the fetch energy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you
Yep.
can't get your products now out of the stores because nobody's shopping in the store.
Listen, the things that I learned, the behind the scenes of the industry blew my mind. Just the same way that when I was in Virginia and I became really good friends with a farmer and I learned the behind the scenes of the farming industry, there was stuff that I wish I didn't know that I know. The
Yeah.
same way there was stuff about the beauty industry that I wish I didn't know that I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that wasn't, it was meant for me to learn all that, but that wasn't what I was gonna apply that knowledge to.
Oh, I can't wait to see what it is. I'm so excited. The tea blend, I love that. You said something else. The Florida
Oh,
water.
oh yeah, I started making my own Florida waters.
Uh,
Oh, live. Like now I just carry it in my purse. Oh, here's one right here.
yeah.
This Florida water is so good. Not for nothing, it's so good. I did it during a Taurus full moon. So
Mm,
it's so extra. It has over 20 herbs in it.
mm,
And I let it sit for 3 moon cycles.
mm,
And when I tell you, it's so extravagant and juicy. Like,
mm.
I gotta send you a bottle. It's
Please.
so good.
What do you know about marigolds?
Marigolds. Actually, when I was at the botanical gardens, I was reading about them today.
Can you read up some more? Because I want to get some. I've heard some very interesting things about it.
Yes, yes. I was reading about African marigolds at the botanical gardens today. And I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like they're also used a lot in Mexican herbalism. I
Yeah,
was just in Mexico.
they're out of Oaxaca. Yes.
Yes, and I
My
took a Mexican.
just left Oaxaca. She moved back to Playa. She was in Oaxaca for 2.5 years. Now she's somewhere else. And I'm like, damn, I could have got some marigolds.
Yes,
She said,
yes.
by the wayside, by the wayside. But they're supposed to be something. So I'm going to let you work on that because
Oh yeah.
I think I need it. And so instead of me going to buy some marigolds somewhere from mountainroseherbs.com,
Yeah.
I'd rather just you make me something with marigolds.
Ooh, yes, like a
Yeah,
nice
I'm ready
little.
to turn it up. I'm going to the galactical level now. We going galactical. Okay.
I love this. I grow them every year. Come on, you got someone growing marigolds. Can you
No.
even imagine how powerful the medicine is made with someone who grows marigold? You have to understand, it's like that is the most potent medicine. The seed, you grow it from the seed, the love, the energy that carries. When you start to work with plants that the person that grows it, it's just a different vibration.
Be More Natural is one of my people, more.
Yes.
And what's so interesting is she wants to tap into plant medicine more. And I immediately thought of you when
She
she,
already is. She's growing them. That's
yeah,
the one. Plants are all relationships.
come
I
on,
have all the books. I have all the things. Love them. I'm such a nerd. I'm such a spiritual nerd. I live for a book.
there's a nerd club.
Live. I live. When I was in Mexico, I took a Mexican herbalism class. Live. but nothing is going to be as powerful as you building a relationship with a plant. They tell you all their business if they like you.
Look at that. They use them on Dias de la Muerto.
Yes, that's what's like when you said marigold. I'm like, I saw the plant in my third eye, but I heard the name in Spanish. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's that, but I was like, what's the English name? That's the struggle of being bilingual. I'm like, what's the name of that plant in Spanish? Nobody knows the name in English. Nobody
Part.
knows it in Spanish.
That's the beautiful part because you can determine the Latin root name a lot of times because of Romance language, as opposed to the English language, which comes from absolutely nowhere.
All right. Oh man.
Whatever it came from. So, Ada, uh, this was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for letting me come on here. Ada, I have a special place in my heart for people who allow me to be me on their platforms without feeling any sort of competitive. um you've never shown that to me, ever, ever, ever. And I really appreciate you for becoming a part of my community. I hope I can count myself as a part of yours.
Absolutely.
In my travels this year, as I hit the road, I definitely want to tap in wherever you guys are going to be playing, being, whatever,
Hmm.
because I definitely want to have experience.
Yes, absolutely. And for those of you from my community that are not familiar with Cat, now you know. Tell them about the Caranisa. Tell them about what you've been doing on Substack. Let the girlies know.
I was up till 3 in the morning
On your rebrand.
for my rebrand.
It's so funny when it's time for you to rebrand,
Yeah.
it's time. And you will, like, that happened to me with my last thing. Like, my website just went down because I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait till the fall to rebrand. Because at the time I was Gypsy in the City. That's how I started, was Gypsy in the City. Because I
Really?
used to travel and write about all my adventures, and so I've been, Gypsy in the City, to the point that people didn't even know my name was Ada. They would just call me Gypsy, and the OGs still call me Gypsy. Yes,
What?
Gypsy in the City. And then I had the Romanians all up in my emails like, this is a racist, and how could you be using that? This is derogatory. My website just shut down one day because I was like, okay, I felt the call. I need a rebrand. And I was like, all things Ada, so that I could just encompass everything. And I was like, I'll just do it in the fall. I was going to a conference to speak at the conference. In 2 days later, my website just went down, nothing. And I said, oh, I gotta rebrand right now. I stayed up till like 7 o'clock in the morning, changed all my handles, created the website. People woke up, where is Gypsy in the City? She does not live here anymore. All things Ada has arrived. So
That is
sounds like this is your
the universe pushing you to do that. For me, it's just a signal
right.
from the Batcave that said, time to do it right now. And I did a lot, and I had the foundation already there. I make sure my systems are always intact so there's not
Yes.
broken links and la 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 la
Mhm.
la. And I really didn't change anything. I just know what my mission is very clearly now.
Which
I
is
huh?
which is
Ah! Well, spiritual activism has always been the umbrella. And what that looks like all the time is different. But I have to make sure, if I stay in my lane of advisement, mentorship, guidance for those who pour back into me, boom, that is the natural flow of things. To not be tied to who can, I don't have like one-on-one readings anymore, that that whole, oh, I'm $300 an hour, and the preparation was exhausting
oh,
me more than the reading itself. And then the post was exhausting me. And so now I live in a world where I am shedding a lot of things materially and taking myself on the road and doing a road show of healing for this year. What does that look like? whatever it looks like is what it and when I say roadshow of healing, is going to visit all the people that have poured into me over these years in their towns and cities, and doing small private activations just with them, and then going to the next city and doing small activations where I get to now come out and see my people in real time.
Mhm.
IRL. Hugs, kisses, experiences, nothing extravagant, but
Yes.
something loving, something Taurian, because that's my normal mode.
Mm-hmm.
Something we all know each other. We're not afraid to meet each other. We're never gonna be nervous. Remember the first time we met? It was like we knew each other. That was
We did, and we did because we did.
we did. We had never met in person. Ada, like I hadn't seen you in years. Hey girl. Not like, is that Ada? No, it was just like Ada, hey girl, hey. It was like wild to meet everybody, and I love meeting people for the first time, and that's what I want to experience in this one year, year one, the year of the horse, is meeting my people for the first time.
Mm, I'm so excited.
And whatever that brings, again, the universe is going to meet my vibration to make sure I do that kind of work.
Mm, mm.
So thank you for letting me come on here and yap and ask questions. I love the story about your father. You have to tell that in a pictorial, mini documentary kind of way.
That's a
Have to
great
talk
idea.
all the things.
That is a great idea. Thank you for that.
You have to, about all your experiences, Ada. It's so good. It's so good. Ada, please, with your little mic, talking into your little mic. Can you get to that mic? Everybody has one. I just don't know which one to buy. And I
I
love
got you.
your videos. It's so pop, 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 collage. And you got it, girl. Get out of here. Leave us alone. And you're Aries. I ain't got worries. She gonna do it, y'all. She going to do it. She's Nike, honey. Just do it, honey.
And this is why I love Cat, y'all. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good yappy hours. Yappy hours, not yappy hour.
I,
Yappy hours.
I know it. I know it. But it's okay. It's all
Oh, so much love for you, Kat. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for your time and your energy. Thank you to everyone who joined us, and I hope you all enjoyed this.
And Ada, definitely don't post right away when it prompts you to say save, okay?
Okay.
Want to do your things. They're going to give you assets and stuff, and you can decide on your cover. You can pick a cover from Pinterest. I just started picking covers from Pinterest now. So do what you want, take your time. And I can't wait for the replay, to post the replay of this. I just can't wait.
This is so good. I want to see if I could download the audio too, so it's like if people can't
You
watch,
can
they could just listen.
you can.
You know, like a little podcast. Oh,
You
come
can
on.
download the transcript, and yeah, you can download everything. The sound, audio. You can download the whole video, the audio, and the transcript text.
What? Okay. Look. Thank you for
Not
putting
your
me on.
mama's Instagram, honey. It's not your mama's
Right.
Instagram. Even
This
it's,
is not no IGTV Instagram live situation.
I
This is a
remember.
new era. I love this.
No, this is not that, honey. This is not that.
I
Okay.
love this. Very Mercury and Taurus of Substack.
Very good for them.
All right, love to you. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye.